Hello and welcome to Flourish with Kalaisha. This video today is about making kombucha. Here are all the supplies you're going to need. There's organic sugar, black tea, you'll need a wooden spoon or glass of some sort. Those are the two compounds that are best. You cannot use plastic. Stainless steel bowl and a cup of sugar is what we'll need. And then this jar and of course your SCOBY. So we'll get started. Okay, I've got my filtered water with 8 black tea bags for a 2-quart pan. I'm using my wooden spoon and my stainless steel pan here, and I'm going to add just a cup of the organic sugar here. This actually is going to get eaten up by the SCOBY, and so it actually becomes a sugar-free product when it's fermented for the appropriate amount of time. So I'm just going to let that heat and boil on the stove and then let it cool. So while my tea is cooling, I just want to talk briefly about what you need here for the next step. So I've got several SCOBYs here, as you can see. Every time you make a batch of kombucha, it makes a new SCOBY, and it actually will go in layers. And you can just tear it apart, and these are called SCOBY hotels. So there are several SCOBYs in here. They look like science experiments, I know, but so you pull one out, and then you would put it into your glass jar, and it does need to have a stainless steel pour top, not plastic. Plastic just does not react well with the kombucha, so you want to be sure that everything is stainless steel. And so you can see on the inside, it's got just the attachment there where it goes through, and that's what you need. So I'm going to go ahead and pour a SCOBY in there right before I get ready to pour the cooled tea in there, the sweet tea with the sugar, and then you're just going to sit there and let it ferment. So I'll be back. One additional note that's worthy of repeating is that your hands need to be very clean when you handle the SCOBYs, unless you just pour it directly into the container. The oils on your hand can actually affect the effectiveness of the SCOBY, so you want to be sure to wash your hands really well with just a regular Castile soap or something like that will take the oils out of your skin, and just make sure that it does not contaminate the actual SCOBY. So when you reach in there, it's all good, and you can just pull it out there and put it right into the jar, and now it's ready to go for the tea. Okay, at this point I have let the tea cool, and I've pulled out the tea bags here, and now I'm just going to pour this tea into my canister here, and then I'm going to put an equal amount of regular filtered water into the container as well. Okay, so the tea is poured in with an equal amount of water. We've got our SCOBY in there, and we're just gonna screw this lid on, which has some irrigation to it, not irrigation, some oxygen to it. This is just a coffee filter with the lid cut open so that there's some oxygen flow for the fermentation process to work best. So I'm just gonna screw this lid on like this. And there we have it. It's going to sit on the counter for about 7 days, and I will try it maybe at day 5 and just see how closely we're getting to it being the right ferment to have the best flavor. And once it does, I will pour it into some jars and put it in the fridge, and that will stop the fermentation process. So you can also do a second ferment by adding a 1/4 cup of juice or fruit puree to the jar, and then fermenting it in your cupboard for another 7 days. So this is just a single ferment right here with black tea, and that makes just the plain kombucha. Maybe I'll do a second video with a demonstration of how to do the second ferment for a future video. Thanks very much, guys. Have a healthy day.